Fox Sports welcomes you to the Würth 400.
Drivers, start your engines!
Got any thrash metal on your playlist? You know, some Metallica, some Megadeth, some Anthrax, some Slayer?
Well, these are the most nerve-wracking laps around Texas Motor Speedway because of the fact that these cars are so edgy, and when they're side by side like this, you have no choice but to run in that second lane. Down here in 3 and 4 over the bump is where it gets really, really hairy.
Briscoe looking to the inside of Busher already.
Over 3 wide for a moment as Busher moves up, takes one. He may take another spot from teammate Denny Hamlin. Briscoe trying for third. These are the first laps in the top 5 that Kyle has run this season on a non-drafting track. He turned 41 yesterday. New crew chief Andy Street had been up on the pit box with crew chief Jim Pullman the last few weeks, but RCR leadership decided the results, even though Kyle got his first top 10 of the season last week, that wasn't what they were looking for and made the change.
How about Denny Hamlin real quick? On the move with the 11 car, no surprise.
Carson
running him down a 10th and a half to 2.5 tenths a lap. But look, that's how
tight.
the mirror driving and how you take that air off of them. He crossed that wake. Briscoe crossed the wake of that car in front of him. The front end took off, and
that was just a mistake on Briscoe's part. I think he ran up on him so fast that he didn't expect to run up on him as quick as he did, and then he got in that wake closer than he wanted instead of timing the pass up off the corner.
But look what the result. That's exactly the opportunity that Denny Hamlin needed. Thank you very much. To the lead. Here we go.
Here is Briscoe's radio.
Got to be prepared for that. No, he left you a lane there, but you got to expect him to kill some speed and come back and close. Don't let him stall your nose so hard like that, especially late exit.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what Larry McReynolds showed you in that cutaway car. It takes all the air off those cars. It's like the front tires come off the ground.
And that's
you have to be ready for it, right, Kev?
Now, that's just a mistake, right? Like you gotta make sure that you know that's. I mean, you gotta anticipate that's going to happen. Can't try to make it all in one chunk, and ultimately it cost him not making the pass
in that guy.
They're coming, and more of them starting to come, Jamie.
That's right. The 19 was going to stay out a couple more laps, but they started seeing the teammates come in. So Chase Briscoe is a little bit tight, pretty nervous with the rear's air pressure adjustment here, and 4 tires in the 19 car.
Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson in the pit lane, along with Connor Zilic, who was running in 16.
These early pit stops, easy to make mistakes, Kevin.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you don't want to do here at Texas, especially during these green flag pit stops. You don't want to have a mistake, speeding, something that you have to come back to pit road for.
Riley Herbst, Michael McDowell getting service.
This is going to draw the 11 in. That puts pressure on them. Look for him to pit.
Zach Smith, Chris Buescher.
Hand out the window on your leader.
Kyle Busch getting 4 tires. William Byron is in. Austin Cindric.
And your leader, Denny Hamlin.
Hamlin to the front end of pit road.
Yeah, as soon as Christopher Bell came to pit road, everybody else didn't want to give up that track position because they know how difficult it is to pass. Regan?
Well, Kevin, that's exactly what happened in the pit stall here. As soon as the 20 car hit pit road, Denny Hamlin's team put their helmets on, began to get ready. As for the car right now for Denny, just a little bit too free when he got out front. Otherwise, it's been good.
I'll tell you, hats off to Ross Chastain because he had to stutter coming out of his pit box so not to impede Hamlin.
Yeah,
speaking of a stutter, right there on the 11, almost stalled it coming out. Keep an eye on this up here. The race is on.
Joey Logano, Noah Gregson in, A.J. Allmendinger, Ryan Blaney.
I think he's going to get him, Kevin.
It's going to be close as they merge onto the back stretch right here, but he's going to go right around him on the outside.
That's a combination of staying out a little bit later and making a mistake, a little bobble exiting the pit box.
Yeah, and ultimately that stalling the car, not stalling the car, but having those hiccups getting out of the pit box right there cost him the lead of the race.
So Hocevar back to the lead. He is one of 10 cars that have not yet made this green flag pit stop.
Chase Briscoe, he was so far ahead of Carson Hocevar we couldn't even find him on a camera.
Here's Custer on pit road. That will leave just Brad Keselowski.
This 19 team, you see Denny Hamlin starting to make a little bit of ground on Chase Briscoe. He definitely has a little bit better car, but that track position will be hard to gain when those cars are so even. Right now, that 3 car trying to stay on the lead lap, as you see Brad.
Much like we saw earlier in the race, though, Briscoe followed the 3 car in the corner, got tight again, and enabled Denny to catch him. You're going to have to, as the leader catches these lappers, that'll be opportunities for Denny.
Well, you got to time it right, Clint. You got to be able to get those runs at the right time, and sometimes you just have to maintain that gap on one end of the racetrack.
The lead here is Denny tries to get to the outside of his teammate. A little contact on the backstretch as well. Talking to those guys, though, before the race, I asked him about some of the struggles that they've had, as it's going to get really dicey off of turn 4 right now, and as Denny Hamlin takes the lead from his teammate. But the struggles that they have had with that 20 car to get results, they said, we don't carry that baggage from us week to week. We leave that in the rearview mirror.
Well, they're mired in traffic. Got a lot of lappers right in front of them. It's forcing their hand to run kind of unorthodox, running on the bottom, Kevin. And we saw that all weekend long, whether it be the truck race or the O'Reilly race yesterday. Makes it hard to pass.
Yeah, and you see the reverse.
Yeah,
it's reversed right there as the 6 car.
Oh no! Hey, Clint Bell. Bell's around.
Bell in the wall on the front straightaway after contact back in turn number 4.
Unbelievable.
And at lap 69, we have the first caution of the day to Todd Gilliland, who went spinning. And Christopher Bell with a pretty solid impact.
Yeah, he's in big trouble for the rest of the day. We were just talking about the bad luck that Christopher Bell has had here. And just a car spinning just barely clipped him right there. Turned him around. Yeah, he's done.
You want to talk about bad luck? Right in his lap.
A lot of cars trying to stay on the lead lap as we get close to the end of the stage. And that tire whirling around the right front is not going to do any good as Bell tries to get it to pit road.
And that's really just kind of the way that his whole season has gone so far. Think back to Kansas, being in position to win that race.
Yep.
Off of turn 2, coming back to the checkered flag, crashing, got a terrible finish. Same thing last week.
4 of the last 5 races, Bell has finished outside the top 15.
Well, let's watch it again. You see the car get sideways up on the high lane, tries to get in the gas and does to keep it out of the wall, brings it down and just barely clips Bell, turns him right head on into the wall.
And Bell is in just such an awkward spot right there. He's got Denny Hamlin below him,
racing for the lead.
You see him coming down the racetrack, but you can only turn it so hard down the racetrack before it'll just spin out.
It's to the end of the stage as the green flag waves. Eric Jones, Ricky Stenhouse in front of Chastain and Allmendinger.
4 wide, Briscoe way out on the outside.
Nemechek fading, that's why they get 4 wide. Whoa.
Yeah, it's so hard on those old tires. Once you get shoved in the middle of the pack like that, just the front end does not want to turn as we see a battle for the lead right here. See that car on the outside. Stenhouse hit that bump with the wrong angle. Goes way up the racetrack and Eric Jones drives off.
And here comes Hocevar on the inside of Allmendinger for 3rd. Wow, it gets too close down there.
You see when that one car moved down and took the air off those cars, they all scattered, made them really tight behind him.
Hocevar just 2 tires, but it hasn't seemed to slow his march back toward the front. Everybody coming on new tires now.
Yeah, and you see Denny Hamlin stuck right there behind the 60 car of Ryan Preece. He's lost a whole bunch of ground to Chase Briscoe. Ty Gibbs has gone by him, so his lane has not been favorable to him on this last restart.
And that's holding up Chase Elliott and everybody behind him. Trying to make some steam in that top lane. 3.5 to go, stage 1. And right now, Denny Hamlin in the 11 with the last stage point.
Yeah, and he is definitely still losing spots right there. As you see Chase Elliott make it 3 wide on him. Austin Cindric now on the bottom 3 wide. So Denny Hamlin struggling on this restart.
Cindric to the inside, 3 wide into the corner. Top lane Gibbs.
Yeah, just not working out for Ryan Preece with the strategy that they had on this restart. Not able to keep himself in the top 10.
Nope, he's faded to 15th.
Look at this. Briscoe, whoo, that was close. Getting into 3, Chastain was trying to block them all. He was blocked high, blocked low.
Oh, contact. Chastain and Kyle Busch got together.
Yeah, the cars are so edgy right there through that tri-oval. William Byron just into the back bumper in the wrong spot of the 8 car, trying to help push him by.
And the 9 of Chase Elliott now in the final point position. Coming to 1 to go. They're going to be 3 wide. It's going to be a Hendrick sandwich of the 1 car.
Gosh.
Wow.
Got to be so careful with those cars when they get that close. That inside car, sometimes it'll just pull them into the door of the outside car, but they got away with it right there, Mike.
Chastain now in the 10th and final point position. He and Hamlin are going to battle for it as they come around turn number 4, and Eric Jones will get his first ever stage win in the Cup Series. Hocevar for second. Stenhouse, Gibbs, Briscoe the first 5. Busch, Allmendinger, Elliott, Byron, and Denny Hamlin score stage points. The Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone. Hocevar inside, Ty Gibbs outside.
Yeah, and we would expect that 54 car to drive right around the 77 based upon his tire advantage. So see if that happens. See Chase Briscoe going to get a huge run on both of these cars.
Whoa, big block. That's going to... We've seen that with Briscoe before.
That wasn't aero blocking. That was more like cinder blocking.
Yeah, that was a big block.
Blocking is a huge part of what we do in today's world.
If you're in that 77 car with a 2-tire disadvantage, you have to do that. You better be bold and keep a hold of this clean air as long as you possibly can. You get mired in traffic, you are finished.
Yeah, and he's hanging in there a lot better than I expected him to. But I think that cycle on the tires probably made this a little more even than what it would have been compared to stickers. So
I still think it's going to be short-lived, but the longer he can hold on to it and keep this clean air, the better it'll be longer.
Well, they both stopped at lap 70 during the first caution. The difference, Gibbs and Briscoe got 4 tires. The 77 only took 2.
Just
obviously Hocevar's up.
Trouble, front straightaway, car around.
Byron
right in front of the pack, and everybody gets by.
Ooh, that was close.
Man, it's a great thing that he didn't have that car go back up the racetrack. That could have been a massive wreck, Mike.
Or a good thing he didn't go all the way through the grass, because it has torn the front end off several trucks and O'Reilly cars already this weekend.
Well, but they're up currently.
William Byron got by with one there. 3rd caution flag, lap 93.
Below though, so we'll get a little bit caught up here and we'll come and get 4, and then we'll come and look at it after.
The Valvoline onboard cam for William Byron. Boy, he came around right in front of half the field.
We'll have to see. I think it's probably because of that bump.
Yeah, what'll happen is you'll go through that bump, and as it rebounds out of the bump and starts to come up in the air, that car will get higher off the ground and lose downforce. Oh man, Logano all but wiped that 24 out, but almost identical to Todd Gilliland's wreck, being up the racetrack, hitting the bump, and that car just snapping around.
He was running in 7th place. Let's ride along.
Listen to this bump.
Clear. Hang on to it. Hang on to it. Hang on to it. Didn't get his. Lock it down. Lock it down. Lock it down. Lock it down. Still okay. Get it back.
Back to green.
And this is exactly how this racetrack gets unraveled. You've got no tires, 4 tires, 2 tires. Watch this.
Corey Heim and Zane Smith, the yellow and green car up front, did not stop under this caution flag. Brad Keselowski trying to take advantage here.
Yeah, and you're so right, Clint. I mean, you look at this field right now with the way that everything is mixed up at the front, all the cars that have been up front, in the back, and cars that have been torn up on pit road. This is exactly in line with everything that's happened at this track over the last several years. But who had Corey Heim on their bingo card to be leading the race?
Well, I like the strategy. They were the first of 7 cars that stayed out, including Zane Smith, Keselowski, Stenhouse, Daniel Suarez, Nemechek, and Riley Herbst all stayed out for track position.
They need this thing to get spread out here and run green and get some laps under the belt to get reestablished of kind of where you're going to run for the speed in your race cars. When it jumbles up the field like this, all hell breaks loose.
Well, 4 of the first 5 just ran their personal fastest lap of the race.
I was just getting ready to say, Corey Heim just ran 28.92. Second place Keselowski ran his fastest lap. So these cars have speed, and they're learning a lot about their race cars up in the front right now.
But in the back, caution waves for a car that got up into the wall in turns 3 and 4. It's Ty Gibbs with trouble on the right front.
Yeah, it looks like he's gotten in the wall right there.
He was just passing for the lead the last run.
No free pass on this or the previous caution because all cars running.
But this is what happens. This is what happens when that field gets mixed up like that. You have instances where you're trying to get by cars, forcing the issue, and it looks like right here, you know, it's going to put an end to Ty Gibbs's day.
So Corey Heim, part-time driver for Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin's team, 23:11, has the Xfinity fastest lap of the race. Just set 2 laps ago, and Brad Keselowski also set his personal best on that lap. Hocevar, early in the race, ran his quickest lap back at lap 2. All right, let's see what happened to Ty Gibbs.
Back here in the back, I think he got help, Kevin. I can't tell who's the car behind him, but I think it might be Ryan Preece.
Yeah, he definitely got into the back of him for sure.
And that's road collision. Heim and Keselowski up front for the restart.
Yeah, I mean, on that last run, you see that quick lap time that Corey Heim laid down and gets another good restart right now. So he's looking like the cat's pajamas out front, looking good.
Suarez battling for second. That battle's over.
You're not getting off the hook with that, Kevin. We'll come back to that later because we've got some chaos going on.
Elliott outside of Stenhouse for 5th.
Yeah, and you see just in the middle of the pack where everything is still mixed up at the front. Everything's a little smooth, but in the mid right here, see Hocevar and Denny Hamlin. I don't know if they made contact, but they definitely both had to check up and
definitely got squeezed off of 2, and then they squeezed Jones getting into 3. You got to keep your elbows up. You lose positions in this dirty air like this, you can't get them back. Very hard.
That's back at 16th place.
And you got to do all you can do on these restarts to gain as much as you can, because as they get strung out, the amount of cars that you need to pass and the time that it takes to pass them just keeps going up as you run throughout the day, and the field spreads out. So when they're all packed up like that, you want to try to capitalize on as many spots as possible.
Keselowski, Daniel Suarez, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They all pitted basically at lap 84. So what they're having to do, we've got 15 cautions. They're going to have to run 66 green laps plus those 15 cautions. That's why they're telling him maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 shy. The one I'm concerned about is Corey Heim, because he has not pitted since lap 70. We have had 23 cautions, but he's trying to run 72 green flag laps. That is a stretch when you add in those cautions as well.
Yeah, Corey Heim and Zane Smith are the 2 cars that were last on pit road at lap 70. Would have a long way to go to try to make it to the end of stage 2.
See how wide this racetrack, as we right on board with Allmendinger here on both ends, has just
he's going to surrender the lead and come to pit road now. Chase Elliott will be the new leader as Heim gets down to pit road speed. and has a long drive down to his stall. We'll fill it up with Sunoco race fuel with Poet Zero Carbon Bioethanol, and may take on some Goodyear Eagles. Josh?
Well, they ran it out as long as they could with that fuel. Corey Heim came over the radio, told him he is comfortable with that car, just 4 tires and enough fuel for the 67 here.
Well, the thing that Corey Heim learned right there is he can, if they have the track position, he can run as fast as he needs to run to lead this race. And I hate that they're going to, not be able to race at the front of the pack anymore, but they know that they have a car that's capable to do that.
Regan, what about Ricky Stenhouse?
Well, Mike, it's going to be very close on Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Take a listen to this radio that we just picked up, and I can tell you the frequency is much more. They keep telling him every other lap this.
You can save some. You can save some more. We need to save a little more here. We're very close. Keep saving.
Huge benefactor.
Turn 2. Car spins and is in the wall.
Kyle Larson. Wow, his day just got worse.
5th caution of the day, lap 160.
Got some big damage on the left rear right there.
Tires are up.
No, I just lost it.
Another single car spin and crash.
Said on the radio he just lost it all by himself.
Yeah, and we saw Bubba Wallace do this yesterday in practice, and you could hear the disappointment in Kyle Larson's voice right there on the radio that he just lost the back end of the car. But it happens fast over there. When that back snaps around, you have no chance in saving it.
Kyle's all by himself, kind of right in the middle of the racetrack. A lot like Bubba. We saw
identical.
Yep, just coming out from underneath of him. He's been struggling with the handle. Great jump by Brad, though.
Yeah, and that's what you want to do when you...
Great jump good start for both of them, really.
Oh my gosh, you see the 60 car up the hill, but you see the difference in speed.
It's only 1 lap, though.
Yeah, luckily, they only have to go 1 lap. They're only going to lose a couple spots.
Elliott sends it into turn 3. Reddick on the bottom. Hamlin coming. Here they all come for the stage win. Give it to Chase Elliott. Reddick, Keselowski holds on for 3rd, and I believe Priest for 5th. First stage win of the season for Elliott, and for RFK Racing, mission as they approach the Echo Park Automotive Restart Zone for stage 3.
And he is the new closer, talking about Reddick.
They just keep themselves in the game.
Yep.
And today is another classic example of the 45 just working on their car, trying to make their stuff better. See him battling Chase Elliott for the lead right now.
On that outside.
As they came down that backstretch, Hocevar was mirror driving Bowman all the way down to the inside of the racetrack to hold on to 7th place. 9th, Byron Stenhouse side by side.
And that strategy for Stenhouse worked out pretty good. He's been able to get stage points in both of these stages. William Byron, we saw him.
He's in now.
Blaney's going to stay 1 more, at least.
And right now there's 13 cars on the lead lap, so it would be detrimental to those guys if the caution came out right now, which is kind of what they're hoping for. Sometimes you get yourself where Blaney has run 13th, 14th, 15th, and all the trouble that you've had.
But I think that is exactly why they're doing this strategy with only 13 cars in the lead lap. It is a little bit different scenario than it was earlier in the race.
So that will leave Ryan Blaney, Corey Heim, and Chase Briscoe.
Fuel-wise, they can go another 15 or 20 laps.
And we've seen chaos happen at the end of this race. Looks like he's got his hand out the window. And he's just going to let him to the inside.
Yeah, I think he's just pointing him by. And that's the difference in the fresher tires. And I think those guys like Hocevar that pitted late like that, they're hoping that with everything spread out, they don't lose as much track position as they would under caution. You know,
to pit with 40 laps to go. assume the lead. As Blaney gets 4 tires and Sunoco race fuel. So we're right back where we were a couple of green flag runs ago with Corey Heim leading this race and running long because he can.
And I think I would run it until it was going to run out of gas.
See them up here in the top 5 as we get into the closing stages of this race.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, it's the Briscoe car is going to cycle out, but they're doing all that they can do to try to salvage something out of the day.
All right, we hear over the radio that Corey Heim has just gone to fuel pump number 2, Larry.
Yeah, and Mike, that normally means with the way those things are structured, you've got that reservoir in there. One of the lift pumps is in that reservoir. Based on my information I've gathered, you might have 1 or 2 laps at a 1.5-mile track.
What's the indication there, though? That thing probably stumbled, lost fuel pressure on the gauge or something.
Sputtering, he knows to go to that second pump.
That's right.
Yeah, well, typically what happens, you'll have the fuel pressure on your dash, and you'll start to see that fuel pressure number start to fluctuate a little bit as you get to the corner.
It's time. It's time.
They've run it as far as they can, but from the driver's standpoint, when you see that number start to fluctuate, because it stays pretty steady on the fuel pressure, but when it fluctuates a little bit, you flip that second pump on.
Well, Chase Elliott has assumed command of this race with 29 laps to go. Here comes Corey Heim to pit road for his final stop. Chase Briscoe is still out there, but now in second, 1.3 back of Elliott, with Hamlin, Reddick, and Buescher closing in.
Is the first sign that we're headed in the right direction. When you can have speed in that race car, and today they spun out and are able to work themselves back up, so overcome that adversity as well, says a lot about where the team is.
All right, let's go back to the lead, where Chase Elliott now has Denny Hamlin cutting that margin down to under 1 second. Why?
Because Keselowski has given Chase Elliott fits trying to get around him and put him another lap down.
Spinner, turn 4.
Oh, man.
Corey Heim, and caution waves with 11 laps to go. Well, this changes everything. Missed it. Pow. Todd Gilliland goes for a spin. He collects the race leader, Christopher Bell. That was lap 69. And Bell out of the race. Messy on pit road. Cole Custer stops to let Ty Gibbs out. Joey Logano collides with the 41 and is out of the race. Lap 95. Kyle Larson now back on track, but 87 laps in arrears. Most recently, Corey Heim goes for a spin at lap 257, sending us close to Elliott. Hamlin for the restart. Green flag.
Oh, Denny Hamlin got a great start on the outside right there. Here goes Tyler Reddick all the way to the outside. He's going to keep that run going all the way through the corner.
Elliott's going to clear Hamlin. Look at this back in the back. Reddick around the outside of Blaney. It's exactly the start that Elliott was looking for.
Reddick with those 2 new tires, steaming around the outside of Byron. That's for 5th.
Gonna have to make quick work.
Jones with 4 fresh tires has climbed 3 spots from 19th.
Didn't get him cleared. Slid up the racetrack. That's going to halt his forward momentum here. Take a little bit to get that 45 car wound up.
Yeah, and I think the best case scenario for the 45 car right now is if they have another caution to utilize those fresh tires.
That's his only shot.
Front 5, single file. Hocevar on the outside takes 6th from Byron, with Suarez challenging.
See Chase Elliott all the way up above those hash marks already, leaving Denny Hamlin a lane, but that momentum in that lane that Chase Elliott has been able to run has worked well for him all day.
A replay of Martinsville for those first 2 cars where Elliott won and Hamlin was second. Here they come off turn 4. White flag waving, 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank, and a car in the wall in turn 4. Did the leader get the white?
Yes.
Before the caution, he did.
No caution yet.
No caution yet.
He's
and that
down
car
off the racetrack.
Goes to the apron and to pit road. We're still racing.
He's going to get it back, so we will finish under green here.
Chase Elliott into 3, around 4. Wrapping the bottom of the racetrack. The car that spun was John Hunter Nemechek. He's okay. And Chase Elliott scores the win for Rick Hendrick and Chevrolet.
Let's go, baby. Great job, guys. Good call there, Alan. Good job, team. Appreciate all the hard work there, man. It's really cool. Thanks everybody back at home, too.
23rd career win for the second-generation star, and he becomes the second driver this season to win multiple races behind Tyler Reddick.
That 9 car was fast all day. Even when those Toyotas were running, he was right there with them. And the dangerous part about the 9 team of Chase Elliott and Alan Gustafson is the fact that they know how to grind as well, right? They know how to keep themselves in the races. Their pit crew is amazing.
Yep.
On pit road. Fast pit stops, consistent pit stops, and been around the steel for a long time, and today they just made it happen from start to finish.
Chase led 5 times today for a total of 87 laps, the most of any driver. Denny Hamlin, who finished second, led 21 laps. And Hendrick gets 2 in the top 3 with Alex Bowman crossing the line third.
And Spire Motorsports, once again, top 10s of 2 cars. Suarez and Hocevar right behind him. Bubba Wallace all the way from the trunk with a top 10, hard-earned top 10 for him. And Blaney all the way to 10th from way, way back. He was all over the place today, Kevin.
Riley Herbst, Eric Jones finished in the top dozen. All RFK cars in the top 15. A lot to celebrate. Chase Elliott, 23 career victories and 2 already in this young season. Texas becomes his 8th track with multiple Cup wins.